Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream recap video. First of all, if you're wondering if there's a promo code, there is not. There was instead Twitch drops. Unfortunately, that does mean that try to claim it's difficult, and I don't think you can go back and rewatch the live stream in order to get it. But if you do, just check out the Kabam live stream and see if it pops up with drops enabled, which means that indicates you could actually go and claim these things. And just to quickly clear up something, Kabam Dork Lessons mentions that there is a promo code that content creators are going to be able to give out. We'll talk about that in a second, but that seems to be more indicated at that's the Valentines event time, and when the Valentines sales are on, I think that we as content creators are able to give out something. I have not been given anything to give out, so therefore I don't know anything more than you know as well. Also, the giveaway structure has changed. It looks a little bit like this. 11,000 people got involved with it, but it is something that you can go in and do if you're on YouTube watching and as well on Twitch. So that's a real positive change that Kabam have done. I think it was 5 Titan crystals that were given out, as well as a champion choice, and hopefully, you know, this is good for everybody. It did break for a moment in time, so whether or not, you know, it's teething problems, but this is a bit different than the exclamation mark thing. So please, if you don't do the constant exclamation mark spam, you ain't gonna get anything. I wonder if Kabam should even like disable anybody that uses an exclamation point, because it just means the chats are kind of like washed with stuff, and people have got really good like questions they want Kabam to answer. So getting to the meaty side of things, is there are some free champion extensions on the grabbing of these champions right here. Kabam did this event, so if you didn't grab the 7-day thing, the get free champs, I think it's being extended, which is good news for those that wanted to collect it. There's also a bit of more good news, because there is a tie-in event for Brave New World, the Captain America, Sam Wilson version of stuff. There's that dropping in on February 14th. Valentine's Day, and going until March 31st. We can get a Red Hulk, well, you need it level 5 health potion, and then you've got Cat Wilson at the end of it. Kabam have said that apparently it's really good, whatever that means. Spicy champions, maybe yes, maybe no. The event quest, standard event quest, we know. There's also going to be an interesting side quest as well. Are they interesting? Maybe. Have they got a particular flavour to them? Sort of. The new ones look like this. It's called the Till Deathless Do Us Part. It's a standard side quest. I think in the quest rewards, the exploration, you get the more spicy rewards. And of course, we've got the standard objectives. Mysterium's on the path. So grab some nice stuff for your Trader's Outpost, whether or not you like that or not. There's also hashtag and champion specific stuff to use. Romance synergy, I think, and it's complicated, can be used for this as well. So there's a lot of things that, well, you like it, you don't like it. There seems to be some nodes there, top right hand corner. And now on to the new champions. Arnim Zola, rotation for him is block, basic, and push against the wall, building heavy, do an SP1, bait an SP2, parry above 20 charges, and sleep the enemy, do a heavy attack, spam, then enemy is just over 2 bars, throw another SP2, and repeat the process in order to do a lot of damage. You can see him running on screen right now. And of course, this champion will be good against champions that SP2s you don't like, because you can do it pre-fight to be able to suppress the champion, which you can see on screen, to stop doing anything other than, say, an SP1 or like SP2 or whatever it is. You're able to do that level of suppression, which is fantastic. Also, when charged, he can inflict a sleep passive. We've seen that. And of course, the heavy spam seems to be the way to go with the champion. SP3 seems to be on screen, this kind of regen back extensively. So, hey, that's not too bad. That you can basically have him back in full life, which is similar to, what is it, Sentinel. So if you're low on health, do an SP3, top up. Ooh, you're gonna be able to be in a fight a lot longer than you might think. Very nice. And there's Dave. Also, the champion will be in pre-release bundles on February 6th and in February 13th when the arena crystals. Now on to Joaquin Torres. Rotation for him. Parry, lightning combo, put on 2 debilitate debuffs, build velocity charges, bait a special while in defensive mode, maybe well-timed block with bulwark passive to reapply the slow debuff to counter evade champions. You can see on screen doing that. Shift into aggressive mode, which is the more kind of like oscillate if you remember that one. So there we saw like if it's orange, it's fury, it's aggressive. If it's blue, then of course it's more defensive. Anyway, shift into aggressive mode, inflict trauma debuffs, and switch back with second medium to defensive mode. Bait another special to continue process, reach 10 velocity to do SP2, and keep being aggressive and stack trauma debuffs and pause them. And also you don't get dex, so that's another nice thing. And I suspect the champion is indeed, and of course being a good juggernaut counter, is a good enchantress counter at the same time. Champion does regen, which is nice. Fourth light attack does debilitate, buff 20 seconds. So yeah, there's a lot of nice things here available for the champion, as he is going to be in the pre-release bundles for February 18th and in the Crystals and Arena February 27th. There's also going to be an update to the Super Daily event, not when it comes to rewards. This, unfortunately, is just a cosmetic improvement to help you track things a bit better. You might have seen it from time to time popping up in the right-hand corner. Well, not right-hand corner, but right side of the live stream, where there seems to be like a new kind of bit of UI. That just means that you're able to, as we said, just track things a bit better. This is the example right here on screen. You can see it. I'll just bring in a little arrow so you can see it. Well, I say it's not a little arrow, it's a big arrow for it. Right in this section here, on the right-hand side. This is actually really good. It's going to be better for the PC version than it is, if anything, because the PC version has a lot of like empty space, so this fills it quite nicely, which is good. Bit of good news as well, we've got Deathless Incursions coming in, which is nice. You're using pulls from defensive pulls of the Sugar Pill tactic. Oh no, you're going against those with Sugar Pill tactic. If you're using Decay, I think that's the plan to use those champions against them. From a rewards perspective, it's just the standards. It's just the standard stuff really that you kind of get. Yeah, okay, there's some nice stuff like generic 1 to 7-star gem, 25 Deathless signature stones. Okay, nice. I take that back. 7-star and Titan shards, tier 4 alpha. That's good. Titles, profile pictures, and defeating champions and incursions, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. So there's all that stuff. Deathless champions or any champion in the Sugar Pill or Decay tactic. Sorry, those are the champions you can use. It is quite widespread. That's nice, isn't it? There's an off-season true bromance solo event. I think it's off-season. I assume that it would be based on the timeframes, but this may go into the newer season of it. You can get some relatively alright stuff from this, so that's just a nice little extra type of event. It is limited time only. A lot of trophy tokens can be farmed, so yeah, it's going to be a nice little one there. Just quickly onto this. This is the pity system. I'll be expanding a lot of the topics I'm talking about into other videos rather than what we're doing here. We're just doing a quick recap and kind of skipping through a lot of things. The pity system, or this parade, premium crystal parade, is to allow you to have more of an opportunity with so many spending of units and spending of crystals that you'll at least get a chance to get some of the rarer champions in the World of Marvel Contest of Champions. And as part of the system, you can see it in action, like, okay, you spent a lot of units, you spent a lot of crystals, and for some reason you're just not getting that 7-star version of a champion. Well, now you can get that 7-star version of a champion as illustrated there. Just quickly on that particular point is that it is separated out with the feature. Every 30 crystals without a 7-star is now guaranteed a 7-star. Every 5 crystals without at least a 6-star is a 6-star. 200 count for featured champions and 7-star. Count carries over between crystal pools. Nice. I'll be excited to see when this launches as to like what it actually does, because there's going to be a little bit more cadence to it. And of course, we'll be kind of like covering more of this in the future. As things are revealed. Now we're going over the love event. Also, I have like a full write-up of everything we're discussing here in the description. It is for me, it's 4 pages long, so it's a long bit of coverage. Love as a battle realm. This is weird to see this return, so I don't know if this is actually going to be a quest, because that's what Love as a battle realm was. It's interesting to see it back. There is going to be the following love. Oh, Dave, keep it on there, please. The Love and War box, She-Hulk, Iceman, Gwenpool, Ultron, Superior, Iron Man, and Longshot. This is great because it does mean that you'll get an opportunity for some rare champions new to the 7-star pool, like She-Hulk and Iceman. Couples Crystal, which gives 2 champions per crystal. Wow, okay, that's cool. Web Store Milestone Track featured Titan Crystal, so basically like spend your money. Romance Rank Up Gems, Signature Stones, and Awakening Gems with the units, of course. 1 full tier 7 basic catalyst for Valiants, for units. Well, okay, providing you've got the units for it, that's I'm kind of glad I didn't spend all 8,000, but I don't think there's going to be a tier 7 basic available for me. And with the extent of what Kabam are actually putting out, I kind of think that it's going to be important now to grab as much tier 7 basic as possible, especially going into something like July 4th deals or Cyber Weekend deals this year. Keys in Odin Vault, Milestone Tracks, and Romance Style Revives and Health Potions. What's going to be available for free? That is going to be always my big concern because I'm non-spending. A lot of you are non-spending in the game. We'll be covering that as soon as it gets released. Also, a bit of good news when it comes to the Summoner Sigil. With a lot of the complaints, frustrations, feedback, let's just say feedback, because of course a lot of the time, you know, I don't think people can say, oh, people are moaning or it's complaints. No, we want the best for Kabam. It's just, unfortunately, sometimes when they go with the first iteration of something, it's normally not always right. So, the Summoner Sigil is getting an update where you get 1 Sigil Potion, 1 Alliance War Champion Boost, and 1 Champion Boost is added to the weekly bundle for all progressions. Now, I don't know if that's going to be brilliant or it's going to be just okay. Either way, it's something that I know players wanted to see return back, and also returning 5 and 6 star featured crystals to the trade-in discount to the Black Ocean market was a good stroke as what needed to be done. Early adopters to receive package. I don't know if like early adopters, that's kind of like yeah, it's I can't remember. It's like founders pack, isn't it? I don't know if that's going to be what Kabam are even going to be doing, but that's still, you know, good if Kabam could do that to kind of at least honor those that went in early for it. And of course, unfortunately, was stung if they wanted to receive things like the champion boost or some of the other items that have been removed. On to now a bit of a coverage when it comes to Ares. Ares is actually a very scary boss, but there is mechanics and arm mechanics that could be a little bit beneficial to players, or I don't know, like it's too early. By the way, don't use Hercules because that's like bad. There's a bit of an issue as to color, and we need to talk about that in a minute. Now I need to go back to the footage, which I'm just going to put on screen again when a special attack is launched. So we're just going to wait for that special attack to be launched, which would be the SP2, which you can see there. There's a glow of color, and then something happens, and then you're rooted. I don't know if I necessarily agree with Kabam rooting things all the time. And I'm not going to say it's lazy. It's just there's a fairness to that just seems to be sucked away. And why is that relevant to talk about? Well, this new Ares boss is going to be something of a champion you'll see a lot more frequently. And there will be differences in certain things like attacks and rotation. So to kind of give it a bit more, and I'll read off my notes on it as we kind of play some of the footage, and also as members of Kabam talk about the character. So you need to rely on dexing specials as you obviously be rooted. You perform an action to a certain weapon, like a prompt. You have to watch for phases as they can randomly throw certain specials. He will get to an SP3 very easily if you use Hercules. Champs who do burst damage are not great in this fight. Think about how long you stay in the fight, as Vigor is something you're going to be building up to do more damage over time. Watch out for bringing regen champs because they might have some issues with something that's going to punish that. There's also, it's better to do damage mitigation champs that keep you in the fight longer. So champions that have higher armor, better block proficiency, other types of kind of like a glancing type a champion. Keeping you alive longer might be the way to go. And one issue is that the champion, like Ares, will have certain color distinctions. But if he does, then that's a problem because obviously a lot of people are colorblind, that it might make it a bit problematic. A lot of people were saying that in the chat. And yeah, so you're going to be seeing that Ares is going to be a more regular boss you'll face off against, and there's no instructions and prompters on screen. You're going to have to, well, adapt as much as possible when Ares does his attacks. That's not going to be great. We will have to see to the extent of what he's like. I've got some reservations about this. I don't know if I like the idea of what Kabam are pitching with this, but we will have to see how it works. And if it's not going to work, then of course Kabam need to understand that they might have gone not a bit too far, but the extent of allowing players to easily distinguish when it's the appropriate time to evade an attack, block a part of a special attack, or do something specific isn't exactly fun, is it? And that's the thing, isn't it? You need to have fun. This is meant to be a fun game, but unfortunately it's very skill orientated nowadays and has been going into the future. So the Epoch of Pain does drop on the 12th of February, so that is going to be a week on Wednesday, I want to say. Let's double check that. It is indeed a week on Wednesday. You will have only 3 champions to use, which I don't get that. I find that a little bit weird, but you know, Kabam want their units, they want their money, they want that stuff. You know, is this for the more higher skilled? More than likely. There are some mechanics I think alluded to that Ares will have, that if things aren't working out, you kind of get these kind of pity persistency vigors that just go like, oh, you tried, or you're trying, here you go. That may be kind of like good for me. You know, I'm not really kind of like great at these long haul fights. I just get really bored easily. Anything that takes over about 2-3 minutes, it's just losing my attention. Each to their own with how they enjoy gaming. But a lot of that stuff is not really for me nowadays. I like quick, snappy, done, on to the next thing. But anyway, what have we got here? Like some good rewards. Like there's some good rewards for it. The structure of it is very much limited to the type of champions you use on whatever paths. Yep, fine. The rewards seem to be okay. There's some good elements to it. There's some I'm not too certain with some of the stuff. Of course, exploring gets yourself, like, you got to do it 6 times. You do get the 3 to 4 a rank up gem. You don't get to choose it. Boo. Then there's also other things as well, like 7-star Awakening gem. The only thing of value in there is the 7-star rank 3 to 4 gem, but I don't know, man. Like, other than that, all the other stuff are a bit kind of like mid. Especially as we've got 7-star 1 to 2 gems per class. Was that per path? Just per class. But there's some rewards. Like, take it or leave it, what you like or don't like about it. And yes. There was a bit of mention about some champions that were used. This gentleman here, I forget the name of, said that Juggernaut was used. He used Juggernaut, but also other people using Thing. Again, it's down to an each to their own who they think is good at this, but this is very early testing. Whether or not you want to trust anyone from Kabam, well, that's another story for another day. And of course, the final thing about all this, apart from the giveaway, was that we have got our winner, which I think a lot of us even knew. I think Kabam released it early to say that the winner of the Summoner's Choice 2025 was Mr. Knight, which is great. I think apart from Quicksilver, which I can't remember if I advocated for, it's the first one I've kind of like gone, yay, Mr. Knight, please, Mr. Knight. He won with 58% of the vote, which is not a huge amount, to be honest. If it was going to be more of a landslide, I would have thought that it would be like, you know, late 60s, early 70s type of area. So yeah, interesting to see that that was the result of that, especially by the margin. But that has been it for the live stream recap for February. Make sure as well to check out some other content located on the screen. Check out the write-up in the description, and we'll be breaking down some other bits of the content later on over the weekend and before the new update goes live. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.